Yeah, so I did computer science. So I graduated from high school in '93, and then went there and got a master's degree. Um, did 4 years of undergrad and 3 years of my master's degree. My master's was all in education, because I really felt that kind of going through the U of U's program, like when I graduated, right, like the internet was just being born. I remember taking my girlfriend at the time and my mother to um, the county fair and showing him the internet on the computer with the old Mozilla browser way back when and stuff like that, going like, this thing's going to be big, and them going like, I don't get it. So yeah, so I studied computer science. I did, like I said, my master's program there, all in education, because that was, it was so young. And I like telling people, like, you got to remember, computer science is such a young field. Like, if you I have a friend who, says this all the time, which is like, if you map where computer science is in relation to like civil engineering, so building buildings and stuff like that, on the same timeline, we're now at the point where in civil engineering, the concept of a right angle didn't even exist. So the concept of 90 degrees and vertical doesn't exist, like on the same timeline. So we are so incredibly early in computer science that, like, it's, everyone says like, oh, I have applications, and they think about it. Yes, we've accelerated much faster than buildings have been built, but like, we are just super young and fresh. Like, I'm going to be one of the first people that like graduated with a CS degree, had an entire career coding, and helping it build applications. There's not a ton of people, maybe a decade before me, you could argue, but the people who, my professors, like, they all came from math, they all came from sciences, they all came from other fields. Very few of them had a real professional coding job and then came back and helped out. So anyway, that was my career. And the U, like you mentioned, was like, it's really surprising to me that how much the U did that doesn't get credit for. I mean, they wrote the very first 3D model ever, the teacup. If you Google the Utah teacup, the people who are there really are the grandparents of computer graphics. I mean, you got Evans and Sutherland, right? He did all that really early modeling. He sort of like built up his tree of people under him, founded Pixar, Adobe. Jim is a Ed Catmull alum. So like, that him and that group really kicked off the computer science. I have to also mention Elaine and Rich Cohen. They did amazing work in raster graphics and modeling and other stuff there. So like, for me, and I think this is fair to say, computer graphics was invented and really born through the University of Utah. So on the internet. So yeah, there's a ton of stuff to love there. When I went, it was super hard. They only accepted 5%, and I had to have a 3.8 GPA, which did mean I have to retake one class to kind of stick. So it was rough. It was a rough program.